up at turn 10. Acosta now, what has he got in terms of retaliation on the factory KTM? Bagnaia down and well and truly out. Last and lost. Here comes Marini, darting to the inside line there. Acosta immediately tries to fight this battle raging at the moment between Acosta and Marini.
Acosta's going to come back in this surely on the inside of Marini. He has to try and jump out of the way. Marini knows he's faster here, but Acosta's just not letting it go.
You can just see Acosta there.
Ralph Fernandez, if Marini's not going to go on the attack, then Ralph Fernandez is more than happy to.
Yeah, he's parked in the middle of that turn 16. He's got the inside. Oh! Big run there between Ralph Fernandez and Marini. That's allowed the door wide open.
That's the
Alex
problem.
Rins to move up into the podium places. Alex Marquez then now picks up Ralph Fernandez. Marini almost lost the front, didn't he? Going into the braking zone for the first corner. Alex Rins is getting better. Briefly through on Acosta. In control. We know how good Acosta's been on that left-hander through 13. Alex Marquez is on the inside of Acosta. Acosta desperately trying to fight back. Alex Marquez able to find a way to a Rins into second place. As Acosta then now goes back on the inside of Rins. I think Rins has just completely barbecued that soft rear tyre.
Pedro Acosta is just not letting him rest on this. He's definitely going to go on the inside. Of course he is. Acosta's not going to give this second place up.
A nod of the head, a nod of approval from Aldeguer as he comes out of the final corner. It has been without question phenomenal from Aldeguer here in the Grand Prix of Indonesia. What a performance, what a dominant victory by the rookie. Further back, huge credit goes to Pedro Acosta. Alex Marquez is on the podium despite the late charge from Binder and Marini. Second youngest ever MotoGP winner at the age of 20 years and 183 days is affirming Aldeguer. Lights out the racing here in Japan in the spring. It's on further back. I think the two are pretty down. Martin and Marco Bezzecchi has gone down. His fourth big injury though of the season. Jorge Martin suffered a fractured right collarbone after big contact with his teammate Marco Bezzecchi. Bagnaia is back, pole position and spring victory double. Pecco Bagnaia back in business. Today is the big one. The moment of truth has arrived for the 93 here in Japan. The comeback has been loading. Marc Marquez just 24 laps away from being in 7th heaven. The green flag clears at the back. Lights out and we're racing his potential time beside here in Sepang. It's a great start from competition by Pecco Bagnaia. Mia has a mistake on the factory on the race into turn 1. Marc Marquez up into P3. Acosta's been rapid away from the second pole of the grid. He's up in a second.
Quartararo passed the 36.2, so the factory Yamaha start is up into 4.
Bagnaia has had the dream start, hasn't he?
Mir now attacking on Quartararo. Mir goes through into 4th place.
Oh, Quartararo. He left it all open, I think, to Quartararo going into turn 5. Well, that mistake in turn 5 from Quartararo has seen him drop from 4th to 8th.
Quartararo had gone wide. Ralph Fernandez is piling on the pain for the 2021 World Champion. Bezzecchi coming. He's still in this run for the podium.
inside, got smoke. A few gut-wrenching moments inside that factory Ducati garage. Now Bezzecchi goes on the inside of Acosta.
As Costa sails way up the racetrack, he could not slow that KTM down. He's lost much more now than 6th place.
Well, that's clear. That's the biggest
blue we've seen so far.
we have seen. Are we going to get a dramatic late plot twist here in Motegi?
So clearly at this stage, it's only smoke, not fluids, coming out of the Ducati. If that changes, then Pecco Bagnaia might get pulled off the road.
No dramas at the moment for Bagnaia. A career reborn at Ducati. Resilience matched by pure brilliance. Pecco Bagnaia will win the Japanese Grand Prix. But from career saving surgery in Minnesota back to the top of the podium motorland, the crowd. It's the comeback, top all comebacks. Marc Marquez is the 2025 MotoGP World Champion. 40 Titans who've been hailed for producing amazing comebacks. Now Marc Marquez surely has to be mentioned in the same breath and clinches his 7th MotoGP World Championship. The comeback king has taken the throne once again.
Was difficult, was super difficult, but now I'm in bed of myself.
Marquez is down! That's turn 15, his sprint run is over!
It is his first big Saturday slip-up of the season. Ducati is a golden run in the sprint is over. Simply the best in San Marino. Marco Bezzecchi completes a sensational Saturday. Welcome one and all to Grand Prix of San Marino. All eyes on pole position.
The riders now get set for action here at Misano.
Lights out, and we're racing here by the GP in Misano. Great start from pole position, and Marco Bezzecchi has made the perfect start. As Mark closes right onto the rear tyre at Bezzecchi. That's Acosta getting on the inside of the Gianantonio, up now into 6th. Margo, I thought he was going to try and line up that move on Bezzecchi. Acosta now. Up into 5th.
Acosta's preferred passing point is coming up into Coetia.
Quattararo tries desperately to tough it out in the braking zone. Acosta now up into 4th.
Pedro Acosta, he's going to think about a podium. Oh, he's broken down.
Been an embarrassing weekend with the factory KTM team.
James Brad Binder's problem on Friday has been repeated.
What an absolute shocker for KTM.
As that's Pecco Bagnaia now on the floor. A home Grand Prix to forget for Pecco.
A 2025 to forget for Bagnaia. Marco Bezzecchi, he's under big pressure though right now, isn't he, from Mark? Oh, Bez has made a mistake. Marc Marquez make a move on Bez to take the lead here. A Misano. More misery for Bagnaia. Absolutely phenomenal. A 1:31.357 from Bez, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Oh, I just cannot shake him off.
Marc Marquez responds with one of his own.
It It has been another Misano masterclass from Mark. He takes the checker flag, just over half a second clear of Bezzecchi. It is a very lonely and distant third place for Alex. Comeback loading.
He gets a match point at the Japanese Grand Prix Bezzecchi.
That is revenge. That is payback for his exit. Lose 3 points more to Alex in this upcoming 24 lap Grand Prix Catalonia. It's lights out of race to the MotoGP here in Montmello. At the front though, it's Alex Marquez that leads the field down into the first corner. Mark trying to get aggressive on his inside in the braking zone for turn 1. Alex goes around the outside of Mark, almost going through two. They lean on each other, don't they, these brothers? But his father has the early advantage.
Pecco Bagnaia started this Grand Prix in the right vein of form. He's already up to 12th place. He's gained 9 places on lap 1. 3-2 out of him. That's Gian Antonio at the back of the picture. The bike coming back onto the racetrack. He's crashed behind Marco Bezzecchi.
They're just trying to get George Quattraro. Nice move that, a really tidy move by the Prix from the inside of Quattraro. Alex goes side by side here with Mark, who's going to be the latest on the brakes into that first corner. Fair play to Alex, he really has toughed it out there, hasn't he, with Mark. Alex has made his move early on here. He leads at the start of lap 4.
It is Ducati, KTM in our top 4.
Now Mark with some slicks really make an instant revenge attack on Alex. He goes side by side, Alex. So good.
These KTMs are flying. How long will Pedro Acosta sit behind Marc Marquez?
Alex has opened up a gap of what, about half a dozen bike lengths back to Mark in second place. But Mark's coming under a bit of pressure here. Acosta once again just letting him know he's right there, showing him his front wheel down the hill into 5. Alex, Mark, Acosta, Bastianini.
KTM, yeah. He's just parking on the inside of the 37. Can the 23 get him stopped just ahead of Pedro Acosta? Bastianini does, and he's now staring centrally at the first KTM podium. Could he improve on that yet?
That gap for the first time in an awful... Coming to the phase of this Grand Prix where versus Mark.
Mark really skipping the rear tyre. Is Alex finally starting to bring the resistance to things from here?
It has been a brilliant bounce back in Barcelona for Alex Marquez, who takes the victory here in the Catalonia Grand Prix. He wins finally 1.8 seconds ahead of brother Mark. Marc Marquez can now no longer clinch that 7th MotoGP World title in Misano next weekend. It's a brilliant first KTM Grand Prix podium for Enea Bastianini. Back here in Barcelona, it does not get any better than this. sensational. First Hungarian Grand Prix in over 3 decades. MotoGP is going to roar into life here in Balaton Park. We keep a close eye on Fabio Di Giannantonio, third on the grid. PR46 Ducati crew have identified an issue on the sighting lap. Big headache for Di Gio.
Have to start this Grand Prix from the pit lane.
We've got the green flag clearing at the back. But we're lights out and racing then here at MotoGP. Marco Bezzecchi is going to try and be aggressive on the inside of Marc Marquez into that first corner. Big contact between 72 and 93.
Marc Marquez back to third place. Pecco Bagnaia is up to 7th place already, although that might become 8th now. Here comes Al again up the inside. Martin's also past Bagnaia.
Bastianini's gone down. A real tough weekend for the beast.
And what a start for Pedro Acosta, already up into P4. Coming up to Alex Marquez. Alex Marquez is on the floor. He's gone down at one.
Mark up to second. Marc Marquez then, and now he does start to think about honing in on Bezzecchi.
Acosta will now be wanting to try and get past Morbidelli quickly.
Marquez now getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Acosta has gone through into third place on Morbidelli. Acosta then does move up into third place. Marco Bezzecchi, but he's looking really vulnerable right now on that factory Aprilia. So vulnerable that Marquez hits the front end for the first time. And Marc just charging in that little bit too hot on the brakes into turn 1. Bez briefly then back in the front. Now we go into turn 5. Marquez levels Bez once again in that heavy braking zone. Bezzecchi comes straight back on through.
Marc Marquez got another very good run out of turn 17. Can he get up alongside and break late enough this time to get through on Marco Bezzecchi? Bezzecchi tries to cut back underneath him, but Marc Marquez now has the inside line for turn 2.
You can just see there Acosta. He really is starting to hunt down Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi goes charging in hot then into that final chicane. Power on the factory Aprilia down the start big break, but he's up against the fastest Grand Prix bike in history. Pedro Acosta's KTM. Acosta has the inside line now in the braking zone. Acosta up in a second.
Aldega's gone down, he has. That's the second Gresini Ducati to go down.
Martin on the inside of Morbidelli, and he's up into P4. And make that another double. Mine's a double, says Marc Marquez here in Hungary. It has been a breeze in Balaton. At the World Championship of Marc Marquez, as he does win for a 7th successive Grand Prix. An excellent 7th to 2nd for the fighting Pedro Acosta on the factory KTM. Marco Bezzecchi takes 3rd place, another excellent top 3 for Bez. Jorge Martin, 16th to 4th. What a ride by the world champion.
Marc Marquez,
Pole position, sprint victory, Grand Prix victory. He is unstoppable. Simple as that. Marc Marquez was simply on a different level. Back from the summer break, Saxon ring sprint. Massive wheel slip by Bagnaia.
Marc Marquez with a super run.
Wins the sprint here in the Grand Prix of Austria. It is chapter 13. Welcome to Grand Prix number 1000. It's the Grand Prix of Austria. Marco Bezzecchi then on pole position. Green flag though clears at the back. Lights out to my racing in MotoGP here in Austria. It's a sensational start for Pecco Bagnaia. He's immediately ahead of Alex Marquez. Bezzecchi has made the perfect launch away from pole position. Alex already back in 4th place. Mark up into P3. Now, Mark up into the second. Red on red. That's Aldeguer getting aggressive on the inside. Bastianini. And Alex goes into the long lap penalty loop. Drop back in front of reigning world champion Martin. So back out on circuit, Alex Marquez in 11th place.
Here comes Alex Marquez, looks straight back through on Morbidelli and Martin. And it's Martin that gets bumped. 3 go past him. Trump is just going to split on the inside of Brad Binder. And Fermin Aldeguer is the big winner out of that one.
Somebody has gone down.
It's Jorge Martin, the reigning world champion, out of 15th place.
No, step back when I step in.
The fastest rider on the track is the rider behind Acosta, Fermin Aldeguer.
This bad guy now has got some serious bother. Big bother. Here is then back at the front.
Marc Marquez has well and truly got his claws in to Marco Bezzecchi.
Aldeguer has got up into 3rd now. He's got through on the Costa. It's coming. It is coming. Oh, he darts to the inside line there. I think Bezzecchi just charged that a little bit high. He's compromised exit speed on the factory and play. They go side by side. He hits the front. Marco Bezzecchi tries to respond. Going toe-to-toe with Mark. This is brilliant by Bez. He's going to pick up some slipstream here. Start-finish straight. He goes side by side with the factory Aprilia. He levels Bezzecchi in the braking zone. Bezzecchi really does try to top it out on the outside, but Mark has got through. Mark back in the ascendancy.
Marc Marquez might finally have been able to break the resistance on the brilliant Marco Bezzecchi today.
Aldeguer's got the pace to get Bezzecchi, no question about it. Rookie? What rookie? Yeah, he's going for it. He's having a look on the inside of Bezzecchi. And Aldeguer on the charge. Successive victories then now in 2025 for Marc Marquez. It is 6 successive double wins. Fermin Aldeguer takes an exceptional 2nd place. Bezzecchi takes one of his charges. Once again, just as he did in Aragon, in Mugello, in Assen, in Sachsenring and in Brno, the sprint and Grand Prix victory by the invincible Marc Marquez.
The Red Bull Ring curse is broken as Marc Marquez finally takes victory in Austria.
MotoGP is back in Brno and back in action as world champion Jorge Martin in the Grand Prix of Czechia. It is 11, it's heaven. Marquez in the sprints in 2025. For the first time since that series crash, halfway through the Qatar Grand Prix at round 4 in the World Championship. The Martinator is back here. Right now, racing in MotoGP here. It's back guy who leads Mark here early on through turn 2. Bagnaya's back through on Marquez, who ran wide on the exit 4, and now Bezzecchi. What a first lap to lead by Bezzecchi.
Bagnaya, who looks set to lead in the first lap, but Bezzecchi looks like he might be set to attack.
Side by side, the two close friends go, and now it's Bezzecchi that leads here for the first time.
But he's crashed in trying to do so. Marquez out.
Juan Mir caught up. Acosta now 5, the KTM on the inside. Bagnaia, John Dyer on the inside of Quartararo. He goes, beautiful move on the KTM by Bastianini.
We're going to get him over the line now. He did a 54.6 even with the overtake.
Oh, huge crash. That's always good. At least they've still got one bike competing.
Marquez has finally made his move. Bezzecchi will now be on the outside for 4. Marc Marquez means there is no uncertain turns. Don't you think about coming back through?
We go back down to Martin in 7th place. A fully fit Martin, once he's fully back up to speed, I don't think podiums and even victories are going to be out of the question. Binder now on the inside of Miller. Miller just will have the inside line. They're going to go side by side. These two are great pals, aren't they? Off circuit.
Aldeguer now draws alongside. The 54 has come from 18th on the grid, and he now moves up into 9th position. This is the battle now behind Martin for 8th and 9th place.
Marquez is still leading this Grand Prix. Bagnaia closed it clearly there. How much time, how many meters did Bagnaia double on the brakes into 13? Fast forward 5 years, and it's 5 wins in a row now in 2025. For Marc Marquez, he creates yet more history. A sensational second by Bezzecchi. Pedro Acosta for just the second time in MotoGP does complete a dream double podium. Incredible job by Martin, 7th place. Good morning and welcome to the Saxon Ring. Marc Marquez undefeated at his beloved Saxon Ring. Oh, back in the lead. And call it over. Marc Marquez makes that sprint win number 10. We're all set and ready for MotoGP action here at the Saxon Ring. Danke Deutschland. Today is the day, and magic Marc Marquez produce another brilliant victory here. It's lights out. Marquez has made the perfect start. The dream launch for Marc. He leads here the Saxon Ring. Gian Antonio's locked himself up into P3.
Alex Marquez also up 1 into 4th. It looks like Pecco Bagnaia has also made big progress. He's ahead of Fabio Quartararo.
Marc Marquez leads here early on.
Fabio Di Gianantonio, he's third in your picture, but he'll want to make a move quickly as Bezzecchi closes in on Mark. Ducati.
Bezzecchi gets a tango by Alex Marquez on the front end into that final corner. Bezzecchi now off the podium places. Bezzecchi back on Alex Marquez, and now picking up the pair of them almost goes Acosta on the fabricator.
Acosta down.
This is already a race of attrition. What a brutal weekend this has been for KTM in Germany.
Great move that from Alex Marquez. The door slammed shut in his face. Bezzecchi clean up.
Antonio, he's going to tuck to the front into that first corner. Hey! Well, this is turning into a race of survival, isn't it, right now? Bezzecchi in second and pushes Alex onto the final place on the podium, with Bagnaia now up into fourth. Right on board with it. Let's have a listen. Oh no, Bezzecchi's gone down. Second place is cursed in the sanction ring, isn't it, right now? Di Gianantonio and Bezzecchi have bit the dust in that downhill braking zone. Bagnaia finds himself on the podium. Marc Marquez reclaims his crown, he reigns in red, he's back on the throne as the king of the sanction ring once again. What a performance that was by Marc. The king of the sanction ring is well and truly back.
Marc Marquez, the king of the ring once more.
Awaits. Out 9 here in Assen as he takes sprint win number 9. The 100 years. It's iconic, it's historic, it's the one and only Assen. Green flag has cleared at the back. It's lights out, we're racing in the Dutch TT here. It's a brilliant start from Bagnaia from the middle of that front row. He's going to lead the field into the first corner.
It's a factory Ducati 1-3.
Well, it is Bagnaia that leads. Bezzecchi.
Now does go through on Alex Marquez into second place.
Once he behind, shoot out the door, then we duck and we collide. Once the dead not alive, if we led not alive, if you're off top ahead not behind.
And Bezzecchi's been getting busy early on here.
Bezzecchi through on Alex Marquez. I mean, brilliant now, moves up into the podium position.
I've already cocked it. the man that kick at the door. Little man, if he blocks it.
Keep an eye on Betsecchi.
Pedro Acosta now getting on the inside of Alex Marquez. Alex Marquez now back down to fifth place. He's got an Aprilia and a KTM ahead of him.
At the front then. Mark Marquez from a long, long way back. Mark with the element of surprise. Luke is on the inside of Bagnaia into the Timber chicane. So Mark leads this Grand Prix for the first time. Bagnaia, what have you got? This time around it's Alex Marquez who's got the inside line. And once again there's more contact. Alex Marquez has crashed out. Here comes Betsecchi. This is his third victim into the Timber chicane. Oh, again. Had a massive high side.
Marquez is so good in the crucial points of the racetrack. Betsecchi is going to have to take some... Bagnaia on the inside of Pedro Acosta then. Bagnaia back into the podium position.
He powers the factory Gatti through the final chicane. And Marc Marquez wins the Dutch GT here in Aston. Betsecchi, who put up an incredible... Pecco Bagnaia, your early leader, once again fades out of contention. He has to settle for third place. With Marc Marquez. Want to see